that's how we do it as women, Like the gift of being a woman is the ability to be able to see, like an oracle into the vision of the future, but also to be able to gather people around and support, like to really allow yourself to be held in community as you're creating these big moves. I expended a lot of energy. I also found out what the F I was made of when it came to being an event planner, an organizer. It was the details that made it magical. I'll tell you the part two, which was we didn't just do a baby shower. We actually also had a Welcome to the Worth It podcast. I'm Megan Taylor, coach for the brilliant minds and the rare ones who are always growing. I have helped ambitious women and men, business owners and leaders from around the world with defining and expanding their unique work, having the relationship that they actually want, and creating the life that makes all of the work feel worth it. Every week on the podcast, we discuss the key pivots that I coach my clients on and the real work required in order to be a leader and the woman or the man that you're here to be. With that, let's get started. Hey, so before we get into the episode, I wanted to share with you more about the Wealthy in Womanhood Mastermind. This is a 6-week mastermind that is launching this month, and we're getting started soon. I'm so excited about the women who are already reaching out. So what I've found from being the right hand behind the scenes, helping business owners and CEOs to grow their business to 6-7 figures and beyond, is that in addition to the business strategy pieces, there's also certain things in your personal life as a woman that can show up and end up affecting if they're not in full alignment. And they can actually end up capping your money, capping your growth, and also just capping your overall satisfaction in life. And so we're here to make money, but we're also here to be like full-on, fully satisfied women. And I'm here to help you create both. So I was in a place in my life about 18 months ago where I had created a certain level of success, but I honestly didn't feel like I had the capacity or the desire to take on more clients. And I didn't really want to scale the business that I had. I knew I needed to get clear on the type of work I really wanted to do, what types of clients I wanted to work with in this next era, and also to get into more alignment with the woman I wanted to be, who I knew was the match for the type of man that I wanted to be with. And also to create a life that really felt nourishing for me, where I wasn't just always pouring out into other people, but I was living a life that made me feel really nourished and rich and supported. And I've spent the last 18 months pivoting my life and my business accordingly and helping my clients do the same. So I'm opening up this 6-week mastermind experience to guide you in a way where you can show up on Zoom and receive direct coaching from me about gaining clarity in these areas that end up draining our energy and also creating these leaks that keep us from being able to grow the business. So we're going to look at next level passion for your work, the work you're really here to do, the right clients that you're here to work with at the right price point and with the right structure and flow in your business so that things feel really effortless for you when it comes to doing your work and running your business on a day-to-day basis. And you're not like pushing and running ragged and burning out, because that's like so in your past, right? Then we're also going to talk about relationships. So for the woman who's here to be a leader, many of the women in my life, they want like a man who's also a leader. So how do you do that? Like, how do you be in a power couple and be a woman who is a leader, but also to allow yourself to relish in the leadership and the support of your partner and to call in and be a match for that dynamic, where you guys are both like showing up at the end of the day and being able to actually like unplug from work and talk about, your bigger visions for life and like dance in the kitchen and make dinner together and not just be like roommates or like thinking about the to-do list all the time. So we're going to talk about that. And then talking about like, what is your FES life? What is the life that feels like deeply rich and nourishing for you? Because you're not just here to be a CEO and a business owner. You're also here to like get offline and enjoy your life and unplug and like take a vacation and actually be on vacation and create a life that feels wealthy in all areas. So if this is up your alley, reach out to me on Instagram. I have an application. This is by application only. And this is going to be the last opportunity to work with me at a group level before I go on maternity leave. So it's a really amazing opportunity. I have bonuses for early signups. And if you have any questions at all, just message me on Instagram and we can figure out whether one-on-one or the mastermind is a better fit for you. Okay? And answer any questions that you have. All right, let's get into the episode. Okay, hi guys. So you are catching me on the other side of coming out from one of the most epic, delightful, delectable, spectacular, magical experiences that I've had in my whole life. This weekend, not only did we have baby shower for baby, there was also more. But let me first give you a little bit of backstory of what this past August has been like. So I have been an event planner, a business owner, a leader for a long time. And I love gathering people. I love creating incredible experiences. But this is the first time I've done it while also pregnant, while also running a business, while also running a podcast, while also managing a team, while also having people stay with us from out of town and doing all of this at once. And so it was a lot to manage. And the thing is like, when you're taking on a really big project or a big set of commitments and projects, you find out what you're made of. And you have to decide in that moment the woman that you want to be, the woman that is actually going to not just make it, but also be joyful and be happy while doing this. Because you can really make yourself crazy if you're somebody who needs everything to be perfect, needs to try to like make everybody happy. You really have to stay aligned to the vision that you have. We had to really get clearer on like, what do we want as a couple? Because we were managing so much that we had to get really streamlined in how we were spending our time. And so, we busted out, like, we got clear on our vision and then we like got organized. We busted out the spreadsheets and we timelined out like all of our to-do lists, because we literally had page-long to-do lists each day to not only do what we needed to do for work, but also what we need to do for our personal lives. And it was a lot. But, it sparked our creativity, and like we started like creating calendar invites and sending them to each other's calendars and like getting really organized as a couple. And there's something beautiful that happens, when you take on more. It's a lot like the expansion of being pregnant, and you gestate this thing that's an idea, but then over time it starts like picking up speed, when it comes to actually having the baby, which baby's not here yet, but there's these steps that you take in order to get organized for the arrival. And then in the end, there has to be like this letting go process. And so what I found was that in order to really birth like this big vision into the world and to create this like incredible experience for ourselves that was like so important to us with the baby shower and with the more that I'm going to tell you about, it started with first getting clear on the vision, then getting really detailed in the planning and the preparations, which is the same thing that we're doing to prepare for baby. It's like, okay, location, food, activities, vendors, getting everything organized and lining people up to not do it all ourselves. I think a lot of women, we kind of can swing from one to both, to either side. It's like when we're trying to create something truly magnificent, you can swing to being like overly detailed and overly perfectionistic, but sometimes end up being on the more soupy side of things and just kind of slow roll it and hope that it's going to come together in the end. And what we really need is a blend of both. We need like a really clear vision, and we need a lot of faith that it's going to turn out perfectly, but also you need high levels of organization, like operationally. You need to line people up and communicate your vision. You need to ask for help and what you want. You need to allow yourself to be supported. And that's how we do it as women, like the gift of being a woman is the ability to be able to see, like an oracle into the vision of the future, but also to be able to gather people around and support, and to know that, like, to really allow yourself to be held in community as you're creating these big moves. I expended a lot of energy. I also found out what the F I was made of when it came to being an event planner, an organizer, and the details of everything that I did made the experience so worth it because it was the details that made it magical. I'll tell you the part two, which was we didn't just do a baby shower. We actually also had a wedding. So Daniel and I got married and we couldn't be happier. He is an absolutely incredible partner to me, and I'm so happy that we did it. And it was so magical, like freaking butterflies could have practically been like flying out of his head when we were saying our vows. It was so beautiful and homey and in our backyard and surrounded by a very intimate group. And it was so special. But truly, a part of what made it special was everything, the way that we walked leading up to this event and really learning to lead the vision with so much care and so much intention. You know, it's not so much about it being perfect. It's about what are you putting in to what you're creating? What are the intentions, the values, the energetics of what you're putting into what you're creating, whether it's a business or it's pregnancy or it's planning a wedding. It's not just about the final outcome. It's about all the steps that you take to get there. For me, the care is in the details. And I find that that's the exact same way that I care for my business as well. As it's like, you know, the experience isn't just like when you're serving your clients. The experience is also everything that you do to prepare and lead up to that experience that you're providing. We get to remember this, that it's not just about the final outcome, but it's who you're being as you create the final outcome, because you're practicing being that the whole time, all the way until you walk down the aisle and up to the altar and you say what you need to say. You know, I think about that when I have a speaking gig that's next week. I'm going to be speaking in front of 25 female entrepreneurs here in Boise. And, you know, I'm not just going to show up and speak. I'm going to prepare. I prepare my energy. I prepare my thoughts. You know, I went and I got my hair blown out today because I wanted to prepare for having good energy and feeling like really supported and loved on and nourished today before pouring into the podcast, because I've been pouring a lot of energy out. And so we need to think about, like, in everything that you're creating, what can you do to prepare yourself, align yourself, allow in more support, allow yourself the benefit of time to prepare properly for the things that matter to you most. Because I wouldn't have been able to pull off this weekend if it wasn't for the support of the friends and family around me, getting properly organized and like really leading the people around me to help bring the vision to light, and like really being clear in my invitation of what I was inviting people into. So I just want to celebrate today, being a wifey and being so excited. If I seem a little tired, it's because I am, but I'm also really happy and just being in the sacredness of this moment. And I wanted to capture it and share it with you and remind you that whatever it is that you're gestating next to create in your life, to remember that it's not just about the outcome, it's about how you get there, and to remember how freaking capable you are of anything that you put your mind to. But especially for women, we need to do it with support. And so, you know, I am preparing for maternity leave. As a part of that, if you want to support a woman in business who is also about to have a baby, I have openings for working with me. Supporting my work and plugging into my work is one of my favorite ways to receive, because I love to change lives and grow businesses. So if you are interested in receiving coaching support or COO support to grow your business, and you also want to live a deeply fulfilling, nourished, relaxed life, and to find that intersection where wealth and womanhood meet and where both flourish, we're doing that in both the Wealthy Womanhood Mastermind, which is starting here shortly, and also I have a few spots for one-on-one. So you can reach out to me on Instagram at Megan W. Taylor, and we can talk about availability for plugging into my world. Okay, love you so much, and I will see you on the next episode. Hi, lovely. Really quick before you go, it would mean the absolute world to me if you found value in today's episode, if you would take a minute to leave a 5-star review for the podcast. This is going to help other powerhouses like you to be able to find it. Also, I love interacting with my listeners, so I would love to know more about what you thought about today's episode. If you take a screenshot and share it to your Instagram stories and tag at Megan W. Taylor, it's going to notify me, and I actually love to reshare your posts with my audience as well. With that, thank you so much for being a listener, and I'm wishing you a beautiful, productive, happy, sexy, lucrative week, and I will see you on the next episode.